Hello and good morning. Alright, so today something slightly different. It's not really a roguelike, but to be fair, it pretty much should have been. So if you haven't played this before, this is Resident Evil Outbreak. There were two of them. Functionally, they're the same game, just, second one's got a few little improvements. In general, they're just kind of different scenarios. They play pretty similarly. I just personally like a lot of the quality of life stuff they added into, and generally prefer the scenarios. Just because, okay, in the very first one, the scenarios that you had, well, the same thing as the tutorial here. You had a bar. That's fine. It was a cool start to the scenario, except for a couple puzzles. Because the way that this game flows is you go from place to place, you figure out different puzzles, and some of them are like one where you just try to progress through a map through different ways, which is what that bar was. You had a constant like wave of different things that was coming in, and you had to solve another puzzle before you got overrun in that section, because there was pretty much no way you could fight your way out of it. And, well, let's just say that one of the puzzles was specifically obtuse, like a third of the way through the level, in which they decided, well, someone's gonna go decide to pick up a liquor bottle and shove it in this random hole in this random room in order to get a key to continue. It was like there was a lot of well, as TV tropes likes to call it, guide dang it kind of situations where the ways that you were supposed to progress were ridiculously obtuse for the kinds of stuff that you were doing here. Because the whole shtick of this game is you're just put into this map. There's a designated exit, there's a boss before that exit. There's items scattered all around, and the idea is you're supposed to figure out the puzzles, which are lightly randomized, I'm gonna say. Like codes and stuff like that are slightly randomized. Item locations are changed by difficulty, which personally I believe if they had completely randomized the items, that would have actually made this game pretty much a proper roguelike, but anyway. So yeah, you got your items scattered around all over the place. You got your different routes through each map depending on the difficulty. And then during that time, whatever is the resident scary thing that's existing there, like whether it's like animals and stuff in the zoo here, zombies and stuff in the subway, and like all kinds of weird leech things. Got all kinds of bug stuff going on in Flashback, and then Desperate Times is just straight up zombies all the time. Which, I don't know, personally, this one's my favorite. Oh, and then End of the Road, which is all the weird boss monsters throughout the series. This one's pretty difficult, actually. It's pretty long as far as they all go. But yeah, the puzzles are relatively light in the second one, and the first one, they were just really obtuse. Like, to the point where there's no way you're going to figure it out your first time through, which is exactly why I'm doing this here. So this was a little bit of an experiment. Obviously there's, dozens, if not hundreds of different videos of people going and beating this thing on very hard or whatever else. Thing is, I haven't actually gone through very hard on these. I've gotten up to hard on my PS2 save. The way the unlocks work on this, like you go to a particular difficulty, you beat all the scenarios on that difficulty, then you can move on to the next one. And I specifically had a thing where I didn't want to use a guide, which ended up pretty much falling apart for the first one because, like I said, some of the puzzles, they're requiring you to friggin' decipher codes and stuff like that in the middle of just like friggin' firefight and whatever. Like, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. And yeah, then on top of that, they don't even tell you where the codes go. In general, let's just say the first one, they kind of learned to tone down some of the puzzles. But now, point being, I wanted to do the very hard difficulty blind. Was going to give a slight crutch, because what I want to see is how the puzzles fare if you're going in blind, if combat isn't really that much of a thing. So as a semi-balancer, I'm going to put on both optional modes that you can get. So Infinity is just infinite ammo, which is very scarce on very hard. Actually, the way that they expect you to handle most of them is just like kicking people away, traveling around as a group. This was set up as a multiplayer game. You travel around as a group of 3, you get attacked, a couple people kick them away. One person passes through, everyone else follows. And it's this whole keep away game, which you can't really do in well, single player. There's people that pull it off. They know exact routes through each of these. But I want to see how possible it is you know, just going it solo. I'm gonna put AI players in there just for the hell of it. But if you're just going it solo and, well, you know, you don't have any multiplayer. They actually did bring the multiplayer back for this. Some people on the Japanese side apparently managed to get the servers back up. They managed to make a modified version that allows it to play online again. But at any rate, like I said, rules are just it's first time through. Just once on each scenario, or at least till I get bored of it. Kind of going on XCOM rules, I guess you could say. I don't remember who's who here. But yeah, it's going to be infinite ammo, but double damage. So the AI characters are going to get killed off super quick. Who was the cool guy? Was it Conrad? I don't know. No, I think Conrad's the firefighter guy. You have your selection of your main characters and then NPCs, which are just basically based off those characters. They just have one different starting item, and some of them start in weird conditions. There you go, Carl sounds funny. And the other ones I'm just gonna pick largely based off their skill set, in case they can be slightly useful, so I'm gonna go and pick her. Her optional costumes are hilarious, by the way. I'm pretty sure... Yes! I don't remember which one's which, but her whole shtick is unlocking things. And then she's useful to have around as long as she survives. I'm just gonna go with the normal one. Actually, let's go for an NPC version. Because she's the one who, there we go. For her stick version. She's the one that gets double inventory space. So, Infinity on... Nightmare on. Yeah, I was having a problem for the longest time with this game crashing as soon as any kind of cutscene loaded. But thankfully somebody posted some good settings for the emulator online, and it apparently was one of the speed-up, not one of the speed-ups, but one of the random patches for something else that fixed something else that broke this one. Alright, so loading. And shtick is pretty much usual for this game. Everyone's got their own kind of quirks to them. Each of the characters functions entirely differently. It's not really so much a reskin, so much as you have your archetypes. Right, who's this guy? This is like generic soldier guy, whatever. That'll work. Alright. So stick figure over there is the one with all the inventory space. This is Alyssa's costume is not the one I thought it was. But, well, got random... Oh. Okay, my controller went crazy for a second there. You got a generic umbrella guy here. Not who I thought it was. Bang, bang. So, the cool thing about this, typical like Resident Evil stuff applies. You can shoot for different body parts and stuff like that. The aiming's kind of funky, because, like, you can aim this way. Like, this guy has a thing where he aims for an extra second and gets a headshot. If you kind of tap it, you can sort of aim down-ish. But then if you aim completely down, you're just aiming right in front of you. So it can be problematic. Alright, so I don't expect these AI helpers to last for long. I know the vague idea of these puzzles. Like I said, I have been through these scenarios before. But I don't know where the items are, I don't know how the puzzles flow in this difficulty, and I just want to see if they're actually solvable by somebody going through them for the first time, if combat isn't an issue. Yep. Oh, crap. So this character, by the way, his thing is he starts off with a Magnum, or the equivalent of one. It's like 80% of a Magnum. It's basically a Colt 1911, and typically what he starts with is a kick and a magazine for his gun. So if used correctly, that could be pretty much 14 free kills at the start of the game. And he also runs a little bit faster. Now because of the higher difficulty and the ammo situation, I'm just going to run away and rapid fire instead of using his ability most of the time. There's a memo here. Okay, this still tells you about the lock. This is broken, and this is the other reason. This is the other reason that I decided to go for infinite mode here. Oh, hell. Hey, over here! Wasn't expecting him to be so close to the door. So, this... Oh, am I already on danger? Yeah, so yeah, one bite was enough to put me on danger. Alright, there's a medal. This map uses medals. Handgun. Let one of these guys take it. Alright, I think one of my... Okay, one of my characters I think is on the ground right now. Actually, I think I'll pick up both handguns and then just hand them out. Present. Alright, at least be useful if you're just gonna stagger around everywhere. Crap.
Hey, over here!
Alright, they're just gonna keep coming in over and over. Chill for a second when he spawns. Yeah, bear in mind you have like 14 bullets through the entirety of the first maybe quarter of this scenario here. Up.
Thanks!
Really? Really, lady? I meant to give that to the... Whatever. She's got double handguns now, I guess. You can't dual wield them, that'd be hilarious. It's like completely miss all over the place. Alright, so right off the bat... crap. So yeah, the scenario was, this whole setup here was entirely not set up for single player. Right, looks fragile. Let's see if there's anything back here. Oh yeah, so what I was getting at earlier, and I guess probably while all the gun sounds are going on, that's probably not the best time to explain this, but one of the big design decisions that caused this one to flop super hard in a lot of cases was the incredibly frustrating doors. Thing is, for some reason they decided that when they make breakable doors... Ooh, blank tape, good, that'll be useful. At least it should be. Ooh, shotgun. Alright, one of you can... Ooh, no, it's a hunting rifle. Okay. Yeah, hunting rifle is unique to this scenario. Alright, lady, you go over here. I'll just use that to kind of delay the virus for a little bit. You have the constant virus tick down. I don't even have any rounds. Oh, crap, it's got infinite ammo. No, you know what? No, give me that thing.
No.
Give me gun.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, come
Why
on.
are you so flamboyant, buddy? Whatever. Perfect. Nice. Alright, so this will... Actually, you know what? No. You hang on to this, because, we can get you healed up. You can at least be pretty useful support. The nice thing is, your relevant character that's got the 8 inventory slots, they tend to follow you around as a pack mule. So that's pretty useful. Right, so here's how they usually expect you to handle these types of scenarios. He comes here, do a kick. Assuming you've got a pistol, you'd probably try to aim for the legs or something. Again, only 15 rounds in those basic pistols, and it's like 8 or 9 to actually get them on the ground, so typically you would just, you know, drop a kick or drop a melee or something, probably try to get them on the ground in some way, like shooting out their feet, and then just leave. Alright. There we go. Now, this lady is about... She's one of the playable characters, but she's about to get killed off while mixing some herbs. This is actually one of the jokes I really appreciate. Okay, let's see if they decide to shoot at this thing. There's a good chance that both NPCs are about to just get squashed as soon as I walk through here. Alright, so we come through. Cindy over there was mixing up some herbs. So you get your blue ones, your red ones, and your green ones. Blue ones are basically anti-venom and also have the ability to stave off the virus for a little bit. Really eating any of them by themselves is enough to stave it off for a little bit. Alright, so that's 2 metals. That'll be good for now. Okay, apparently we're just waiting on the third lady to come over, so what we'll do, we'll run over here, grab one of these things. Gonna need the bolt cutters for a while, and I can probably... Nah, okay, I'll need the tape later. This is when an elephant comes in. And now that it doesn't crash anymore, I can actually show this. Whoosh! Yeah, welcome to friggin' suddenly Jurassic Park, as it lags. And yeah, this just triggers as soon as you're through the gate. Now you can... Oh, crap.
Hey, over here! Help me!
Yes, I know. I'm coming to help you in a minute. Don't die yet.
Hey, over here!
For some reason my controller is being funky right now.
Hey! Help me!
Right, why are you not firing?
Hey! Hey, over here! Hey, over here!
Yes, I know, lady. Come on. Turn this thing off.
Hey, you! Hey, over here! Help! Hey! Hey!
Ah, okay, never mind, she's dead. And my controller is lagging like crazy. What is going on? Buttons. 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 What's going on, buttons? Hold on. Okay, this is bizarre. Hang on a sec. I gotta turn this thing on and off because it's freaking the hell out. Controller. There we go. I think. Working? No, it's not on yet. Okay. There we go. Nope, we're still getting lag here.
Excuse me! Go!
What is going on? Can you just leave, buddy? Please? Since apparently you broke the controller? I don't actually know if this is the emulator or what. Because, there we go. Now he's leaving.
Go!
Because this did not happen in any amount of testing. I did like 3 runs, and of course this would be the one that goes nuts. Alright, you get picked up.
Hey! Sorry!
Okay. You go over here. Alright, these are still mixed starters. Yeah, combine them. So I'm hoping if she's in better condition, she'll actually fire that rifle.
Hey! Thanks!
Yeah, so it was just the elephant that was screwing around with my controls for some reason. Alright, let's check out the actual puzzles here then. Let's roll down here. Check out that door in a sec. Crap. Is this openable? Yes, okay, that... Huh. I think this one's actually locked in a lot of other scenarios. Alright. I'll get that. Okay. Weird chrysalid tiger. Okay, I really don't want to be here, so...
Excuse me.
Yeah, just give me that rifle if you're not going to use it. So when it comes to the zoo, less stuff spawns in here, but it's a lot more dangerous. New healing item? No. Actually, no. Leave the metal here. I'm pretty sure if I can make it to the other end of this thing here, I can make use of that blank tape, because there's that mixing station. No one's jumping out of there unless you get super close to it. Actually, I should have brought the bolt cutters now that I think about it, because I need them over here. Can I grab this without getting jumped? Yes. Okay. Still limping, though. Oh, you know, intestines hanging out, but it's just fine. I think this might be the only one where the whole gut-grabbing and stumbling animation actually makes sense as far as Resident Evil is concerned. Because they have this all the time, but the only one where they actually attack your torso. But yeah, you can reinforce doors if you want to, but there's not a whole lot of sense in doing that right now. The idea is two people hold the door, and they try to hold it as long as possible while somebody figures out the puzzle. Good. So if you're wondering why that was super effective, you get like 3 bullets for this thing in the entire scenario. I think only like 1 or 2 in this particular one. So this thing better hit hard. So I'm kind of surprised they gave it to you right off the bat. Alright, so that one's not back. What else? Let's see, I know there's a mixing station. I don't really need that tape anymore then, because the elephant's dead. Just killing off that elephant's one of the extra things you can do, so now the end boss is a lion. What else? I can dump the tape. Bolt cutters are to get this door open from the other side for backtracking. As long as nobody goes up and checks that van, we're kosher. I don't know if there's any items down here. I believe there's some herbs and, oh, there's one thing. I know in normal there's some herbs or something back here. Missed that? Could be useful. Yeah, might as well take it instead of the tape, which will totally still work despite being dropped in the water. No items up front. Yeah, that's pretty normal. Yeah, I really like these settings that the guy recommended.
Excuse me.
Actually running as good as it does on the PS2 in a lot of cases. Good, he's already dead. Now, can I climb you? Yes. I believe there may be a second line in here, though. Let's get to that healing thing. I know that this thing that I was looking at over there, if it drops on you, it's just free damage. It sucks.
Oh, wait!
Yes.
There we go. Okay, let me hop on the other side and cut that chain, too. They chained it up on both sides and then just got overrun anyway. Wait, is this one just open? Yeah, so this is just an unlock. So I don't need the bolt cutters anymore, I'm pretty certain. I don't have the power on, so I can't move that crane. Which... normally it has one of the 2 emblems that you need to get the monorail on it. One weird thing is with, depending on what characters you use... Fine, I'll take them, Jesus. Depending on what characters you use, some of the full heal items aren't even enough for a full heal. They're not, like, hard-coded to be a full heal, they're, like, just 100, and if you've got more than that, then... well, good for you. You can grab a couple of these. There we go. So that's how you find out about the normal hunting shotgun, which I guess he just kind of left behind in some random alleyway this time around. Yeah, power isn't connected, so I can't turn on the crane. This part might be a killer because I don't have a whole lot of ways to deal with the birds. Usually you'd use a shotgun on them. Alright, is that another blank tape? No, revolver rounds. Okay. No, I actually don't need any of this anymore. Yeah, the revolver is just a crappier pistol, if I recall correctly. It's one of those ones, one of the weird downgrades. You see a lot of weapon downgrades happening in the higher difficulties. Yeah, okay. Just to have something a little faster, even though I have my normal pistol. Why am I even bothering? Yeah. Yeah, give me the hemostat instead. Anything over here? No. Something here, blank tape, don't need it. Now, the light isn't on, but I'm still hoping that the tiger will jump out if I go here. There's something in the hole, it's too dark to see. Oh, I don't know, maybe reach into it, because it's a plot item. I'm pretty certain. Nope, I'm not going to do that. Okay. So it's funny, because this is flat-out end game in normal and hard difficulties. Now it's the very start of it. Dead. Dang it, freaking chrysalid line. Dead. Yeah, go figure how this manages to be legitimately, like, actually unnerving with a friggin' gun that kills everything instantly. Kind of amazing. This should be the power code, right? Oh no, this is the... Let's see. Yeah, electrical system code, so 39DJ. Also, these shadows are going crazy. I got a maxed out herb. What's here? Another metal. Okay, I do need that. Now, you can't go through a lot of these doors here. And leave that healing item for later. Can you actually push this as this guy? Yes. Yeah, there's one cart that you can only push as the fat guy. Because he's chunky and old, which apparently makes him super strong, because that's how strength works. Not the young guy that apparently just got through training or anything. No, he's weaker. Or any of the special ops guys. Okay, so I don't want to go fighting anything until I kill this bird. This bird is just the worst. Let's see, you died. Okay, she's dead. And she's dead. Right? Yeah, dead. There it is. You killed my stick, people. Like I said, this is kind of the reason that I prefer playing with Nightmare mode. Okay, bye-bye Hannah. Need to get that lion taken care of while I still have him in my sights. Apparently is not enough to register because this still has that weird auto-aim thing going on. You're just aiming the general direction, and sometimes it'll register a hit, sometimes it won't. Okay. The herbs and things. I think it's an elephant key. Oh, there's some kind of key out here. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I think I can claim items from her, but I can't. Crap, another bird. Get bent, bird! You suck. You are terrible game design. Like, there's some really dickish stuff in these games, but man, they do not know how to have birds that don't suck. Because when you can't aim up, yeah, they're gonna be annoying. Alright, well, now that I don't need a slot for my healing item anymore, I guess I can go ahead and do that. When it comes to dead characters, if they have a bunch of stuff, you can just kind of walk into the zone and kind of freely teleport your items between them, so you can use them as a free storage space. It's kind of messed up, but oh well. Yeah, there's that key I need. Right, so there's the way out. There's this guy. Oh, he's actually here this time. Go figure. Right, lighter, don't think I need it. Raccoon metal, crap. Well, move back for it if needed. If you're wondering what the deal is with these metals, that key opens up a door, at least I'm pretty sure it does, for a main area that has a manager's office. That's what sounds like that. That has a manager's office with a little statue in it, and you pop those in there. I don't know how many are needed for this scenario. There we go. I just got disintegrated. Oh my god, you stupid birds. Go away. There's no way they had this many toucans. See, I think he... crap. You guys suck. There. That's what I was looking for. Thankfully, they're a little bit easier than the crows. That's a crap show for another day. I mean, look at that. One bite. Almost all health gone. This jacket deserve? No. Do I want it? I think I have to go through here. Yeah, because then I can open all this crap from the other side. And of course, more birds now. Just die! Stupid birds. There we go. Get bent. This is super annoying if you can't fight them, because you have to crawl through here, and then you end up getting bitten by the alligator, and then you end up getting attacked by the bird, and you end up getting killed because that bird knocked you to low health, and then the alligator just finished you off. Alright, screw it. Run. Run. Can't deal with toucans. They're too scary. So, what puzzles are we dealing with here? Plant cell tag? Okay, revolver speed loader, don't need it. Knife, don't need it. There should only be bees in here, and they're not going to get triggered if I don't do too much. What's funny is you can actually shoot the bees. Alright, so don't go close to that. Oh, perfect. Alright, take one of you, and one of you. Combine those. Go ahead and combine these. Not efficient usage of them, but I hardly care. Yep. Kill this thing. Do you remember the locations of those at least? Go up here, push a thing off. Oh, crap. So like I said, kind of dickish stuff here sometimes, especially because you end up wasting bullets a lot of the time trying to do this 50% aim thing. It's super sensitive. There we go. Push the thingy. That'll piss off the bees and then allow that console to be accessed, but I will go ahead and run away before then. Actually, no, let me see. What is this thing? Another metal. Okay, no, I don't need it yet. Now onto another area with a frickin' toucan. That hopefully won't insta-kill me. Get bent, toucan. Drop my gun for a minute. Still can't get a full heal. And yeah, that elephant, it follows you around, it breaks through walls, it does all kinds of cool stuff. But I'll be glad to be rid of it for now. Normally, on very hard, you really don't actually want to kill the thing. The idea is you make a mixtape of its favorite music, you trap it in a cage, and that holds it off for like 10 or 15 minutes, after which it breaks out. And, well... okay. I think just in case of an emulator crash, I'm gonna go ahead and, I haven't... yeah. So you're allowed one save, though it wrecks your score completely. So I'm gonna go ahead and just drop a save there in case the emulator crashes. I'm gonna say I don't see myself redoing this part anyway, but why not? Let's go to this. That's just bullets. Leave. So already at 50%. I haven't... well, let's see. I've gotten a lot of the medals. I don't know what they're good for. They might just give me ammunition as far as I know. The blank tapes. Yeah, the blank tape boxes have no blank tapes. Okay, this guy is dying. That's his deal. Yeah, BGM tape. That's what you need in order to get the elephant into here. But yeah, power's out. Pretty much what I need is to get into that head office right now. Any items? No, there's like nothing here. Not even gonna bother talking to that guy. He just talks about how sleepy and tired he is, and it's all nightmarish and stuff. Actually, now that I think about it, it's a little bit funny. There's this gate over here. He never tries to break out that gate. Tries to break out this one. And ends up succeeding. And apparently the textures can't seem to figure out what's going on in this emulator. So now, the reason that you end up wanting to close the gates is because of the shiny stuff on that guy up there. Now, if I recall correctly, on hard, he just had bullets, though. And how on earth it is that he even died and got himself trapped up there is anyone's guess. What's this? Another medal. Oh. In case you're wondering, it isn't the amount of hits, but how much damage it takes. That determines how difficult a door it is. Difficult a door is to open. Okay, there we go. Okay, so unlock the area that I was already at, and hopefully, with any luck, that'll unlock the front office too. I know I should be saving these for a red herb or something, but I really don't want to risk getting just insta-killed here. Okay. okay. I mean, strongest friggin' gun in the game still takes 4 shots. Kicking it down, you'd think that that would be something that works, but you're gonna be kicking the thing for like 10 minutes. Alright. Did its head explode or something? But it was... Oh, I blew up the cart. That's what happened. Yeah, you can do that too. And if you're wondering about these pesticide spray cans, they're actually a weapon. They're mostly a stun weapon, but they're pretty reasonably effective when the difficulty's high. And they end up killing bugs. And can I... Nope. I can't get access to this. So... It's time to start dropping the metals here, because... I'm gonna die. Or not. I need to get some inventory space back. Right, so what's left? I can't get through there, I can't get through there. Are you kidding me with these spawn rates? Really? Okay. And this should be shuttered, so... Okay, I need a key that I missed somewhere. Where have we not gone? Oh. Dang it. Stop spawning new crap. Please don't. Yeah, you can only do the quick turn if you're actually relatively nearby them. Okay. Have I not been to the South Concourse or something? I mean, I had to have been here already. Yeah, because there's a dead elephant. Okay. Where have I not been? And I can't access that front area. Okay, there's a recovery item there, one dead player there. Said other. I think it was like a tape or something. Okay, so I have to go check back there. Terrarium apparently had some items. This thing I believe had metals. I kind of wish that they were just marked as keys. And I guess I might as well just do the full circuit. Collect some metals along the way. Didn't check up here, though. I don't think I checked over here, anyway. Just a wooden pole. Nothing. Ooh, wait a minute. No, wait, that's, a metal. Okay. Don't tell me I have to scare out this friggin' tiger. Did you drop the key in here by chance? No. Sorry, I keep hitting select for the map. Okay, so not here then. Let's check this place again. What are you doing? Get through the door, you dork. sound of quiet. Okay. There's a key up here. Or not a key, but something up here. Apparently we can't climb on the spikes and go get the item that's over here, though. Which will just pretty much drop on you. Actually, no, wait, it's on the other plate, it's not on that one. Right. Over here, yeah, I think one of the most pissed off times I've ever had during this game was where this case where I was getting pretty close to the end of a run. Okay, just bolt cutters. Handgun rounds, don't need them. So I was getting pretty close to the end of a run. Ended up getting, I think I was in caution, ended up getting dropped into critical because that free damage drop from the pallet from the ceiling. So I was just going to pick up the item and it's like, oh, ha ha ha, it's so funny, I slap you in the head. Okay, no toucans. That's a plus. It's just the gun. Oh, there's an item on the other side too, okay. I wasn't sure about that the first time. Oh. Well, never mind. There's some in there, but I can't get it because there's no power, because we can't get the thing to get the power. Okay, nothing here. Are you a healing item? You look like a healing item. Yes.
Wait!
Actually, I think I'll hold on to that one. Oh, also, yeah, you can emote to your other people's. And all the NPCs sound funny. And let's take a look at the time. Freaking 47 minutes into this thing. Made almost no progress towards the end. Alright. Basically what you need is, well, plates to go into those. These are just bullets, right? No items here. Nothing here either. Can't go to this part yet. Alright, moving on again. This friggin' nightmare hole. So I'm going to keep that one herb on me just in case I get knocked to the ground. Pretty much if you use a recovery item when you're knocked to the ground, you can get back on your feet. Otherwise, you are just screwed unless you have an NPC to help you. Alright, there we go. Now, what are we looking at here? Nothing out here, one thing up here. Or two things up here. Now, I know one of them's the metal. That sucks. I'll go ahead and pop this thing then. Or actually, no. There might be a red herb in here, which I doubt. But it's worth looking. Handgun? No. Yes, it is a way out. Don't suppose you give me the key this time around. Just a lighter. And then a metal. Alright. Good, I have all the metals I could ever want, but now what? I mean, this just goes right back to where I started. Really, the last place is over here, and maybe that guy on the ground actually gives you something now? I'm just gonna rocket launcher and blow these birds away. There we go. Well, there's one healing item over here, so there's that. Anything over here? No. I need to get to the other side here before another bird shows up. All those friggin' birds. I suppose I can skin you and wear your hat. Or I'm scaring some people dressed as a crocodile. Nothing shows up on the map, but... stick? No. You birds. Yeah, I think my best bet is just getting news of the surviving guy to the dying guy in the elephant exhibit. Maybe that'll do something. Crap. And now I'm gonna die from poison. What? Am I poisoned? Yeah. Really? Yes, you are screwed. Yeah, I think that's the end of it. Oh, that's dumb. If I get out of this room or even manage to get unpoisoned in some way. Well. Then at least we'll find out if that one guy had the information that was needed. Or the key that was needed, I should say. Right, so just don't die. Get to this door. Very good. Get to this door. Climb up a ladder, talk to the guy, at least find out if the key is the thing. Because if that's not it, I have absolutely no clue where it's supposed to be. Now there's just another friggin' metal. Right, use the healing items over there. That's not gonna help. Can't get to the item up there. Was this here the whole time? It was here the whole time. Okay, well, if by some miracle I manage to cripple my way over to the office, I know there's probably some healing items in there. And there won't be an elephant to insta-kill from the wall, so it should be a bit safer than before. Thing is, there's like 15 friggin' hyenas between me and the door. Not to mention poison. Yeah, it's definitely not wearing off. Are there any recovery items here at all? Okay, at the very end. And I think that might potentially have an anti-poison. This is as fast as I can move, by the way. I suppose you have something in you. Worth a shot. Like first aid spray just hiding inside these things. Which I think happens once. There we go. So physics work. Shoot a door several times from the front, and it opens towards you. Things. Alright, it is just this one spot in particular. Okay, I was told there's a recovery item here. Where is it? Is that it right next to her? No, that's her, like, handkerchief thing. What the hell? Okay, it says it's right here. So just, it's underneath the rubble? Is that what's going on here? I can't actually get it? Oh well. There's the direction. Why does this one spot lag so much? It's like not even lagging in-game, it's just the controls are lagging. Alright. There we go. Back through this door in order to get the closest possible route to the actual door. See if it's possible to pull off that miracle finish. Looking very impossible right now. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna pass out from the poison any second now. Can this thing break? Yeah, don't suppose you have a healing item in you? Nope. Alright. Kill 2 hyenas, get to the door, use the key, go inside, pray for a first aid spray. Or an herb, or anything. What the crap is that now? In case you're wondering, no, you can't even open doors in this state. They're just knocked to the ground. So that's it. I can't aim, I can't open doors, just game over. Well, alright. There we go. So, I guess it's possible to figure that out on a blind run. But I didn't end up seeing the item flashing in the middle of the room there. There we go. Give it a go. I will try the other ones, see how that goes. Just, yeah, the thing was with the lighting, I couldn't really tell where that thing was, and, overall, up to that point, it was pretty well designed, though. So, I think it's possible. Because it probably would have been the key, which then would have been for the main office, which would have allowed to turn the power on, which, again, nobody would actually know their first time around, but whatever. Then you punch in a code for the office there, you put all the unicorn medals, no, put all the raccoon medals into a raccoon statue there. I assume that ends up doing something. I mean, I would assume for putting in all of them, you end up getting an emblem. And then the other one, I would assume, is still on top of that little thing in that one tiger room, which would then allow opening of the doors, which would then allow going to fight the lion thing, which would then be a clear. But, either way, made it a decent way of the way. And, back with another one later.